All right, welcome back, everyone. See, as you might be able to see, getting a little more space in my tray of tiny pieces. I've pulled a few more parts out that I'm going to be able to place today, but it's still pretty packed in there. Got a whole corner full of plants and everything. This guy turned out pretty good, I think. Looking in the windows there, got the it's got the sort of the 3D effect with the books and whatnot. In what I think is actually going to end up being a fortuitous mistake, the chandelier or whatever you want to call this thing actually fell off the ceiling, but it did stick that far down. So I'm hoping that actually turns out to be a good thing. Maybe see a little bit more from the front when you look it in. But I think I'm hoping that ends up being a good mistake. Everything still feels flimsy, but it's getting a little more solid now, getting with all the pieces coming together. And I think today we're going to actually get to put this final side on, so that hopefully that'll rigid this building on up to its final form, or whatever you want to call it. These wires are just going to be a mess, I think, whenever the time comes to strap them together. But I got zip ties for that when we get around to that. But anyways, we are ready to start up on page, what page are we on? 18 today. Now I've been looking, and it's 21 and a half pages, so we should be done in the next 3 or 4 days, I think. I think everything's going to move along pretty quickly now. So hopefully, we'll finish up and move on to the next thing. But I was worried for a little while, but seeing how this thing's turned out and how good the corners are and everything, I'm going to be optimistic that this is going to be a really, really good looking set when it's all said and done. So I'll get the pieces out for page 18 and we'll get rolling on that. Okay, here we are, guys. So we got the side of the building. It actually says to put some more details in on the structure over there. But I'm going to start with gluing this thing together, just to give this glue a little bit of time to dry while I work on that. So I'm going to go slightly out of order. But I think, what have I been using? I've been using the B7000 for this stuff, hadn't I? These are big enough. I'm going to go back to the old Beacon 3-in-1 for my paper gluing. It seems to be really good for that. I had no complaints on it thus far. Now this one, there's no marks or anything, but it looks like I'm going to line the top up with this slot. Get you a little bit further in. And then the sides. This is, in the picture the hole's showing a lot more, but I'm going to use it also looks like it's flush with the side on that. So I'm assuming that's just, the picture is just show it notation where the hole is. But it does go with the green on towards this cutout. So this is right side up, as it were. So let me go ahead and mark. I'm not worried about the top so much, but down here I don't want to make sure I don't go crazy all over the place, as well with the sides. So just so I know where to put my glue, give me some guidelines. And I think I'm just going to go got a little bit of an extra. Yeah, it's being a little ornery here. Okay, and that may actually be too much. So I had a little issue up there at the first part. But let's drop this on, sort of right her up in place. Okay, and my little leftover squeegee from and then the other way. That's nice and smooth. No bubbles or anything. I guess I better go up all the way up to the top. I just look like a little bit of a hiccup there. And I finally got around to watching the new Doctor Who on Disney Plus, the first episode anyway, and so far I'm enjoying it. I like this guy's energy. Sort of fun looking, and I'm looking to see forward where the mystery goes as they go along. He's no Amelia Pond. She's no Amelia Pond, but I think it looks like it's gonna be fun based on the first episode. Anyway, take this one. Whoop, our little, I don't know what you call that, a lounge. It looks like a fancy place, but it goes backwards on here, and on this one, it looks like, how much room have we got around the edges? I think it'll be snug, but I'm just going to try and run a real tight bead right around the edge. Stick with a 3-in-1. Actually, do a vacuum clean on that nozzle. Getting how much of this stuff can be in there? I guess all of it. You'd think. Seems like let's see. Where'd that tiny Okay, there's some chunks. Alright, maybe that'll clear it out. See how this sounds. Much better. Okay. Now let's see if I can do this now. Yeah, it's much more cooperative with the flowing now. Okay. Let's see here. Looks like I got contact all the way around. Got a string going crazy over here. Guess I should look to the other side before I squeegeed it down, but yeah, there we go. Got a nice view of our little room in there. Okay. Now, make sure none of the residue gets on there. Let's put that on there. We'll put this guy over here. And just like on the other one, we've got an overlap over here on this side. If I can not tear off my picture. So I got like that much showing, so that's going to cover the front of our building. So I am just going to, it's actually pretty close to being flush back here, so it's not exactly, I'm going to go down here. I think does need to be flush, because it's got something, because we're about to put, eventually we're going to put this in here, so we don't want much overhang on that cutout part. So yeah, I think I'm just going to go, I'm going to use this as my judge and try and keep everything else fairly even. Yeah, that's the plan. I'm just determined to not knock that picture out when I grab it like that. So I have to pay more attention to that. All right, let's just do some edges here. Oh, it was doing better on the flowing. Now it stopped. Doesn't take long. Go around here. And I'll sort of randomly make sure I got enough everywhere. Okay. Like I said, I'm really concentrating on the cutout and the window frame is what I'm really trying to get lined up. Everything else I think can be trimmed if necessary. That's good. Yep, all right. Okay. Let my squeegee get dirty. Okay. Maybe a little bit more across here. Alright. Looks like I'm getting a little bit of... I tore it here, so I might be a little bit off. You can barely see in that corner. Whenever I tore the poster apart, and I tore that a little bit, but I thought so that might be where my wrinkles are coming in through there. Or I may have just overglued in that point. But otherwise, this feels and looks pretty good, I think. The big part is all smooth. But, alright, and that, I'm pleased with how that field of depth is going to be. Okay, but I'm going to let those sort of sit and dry. Doesn't take much, but I'll still, because I'm here. And put that glue up and bring our structure back over. Gonna be working. Let's see if I can get the old phone stand again. I guess, yeah, y'all be able to see when I do this. Let's see. Top floor here are what were supposed to be chairs but are stools. Go in there. Stow them right there for the moment. Seems like a good place to have access to them. Our table is going to go in there. And yeah, that's some of the last of the pieces is going to go in there. And then of course the chairs go all the way up in the back. Let's see, what am I going to do that with? I think I'm going to go with B7000. I'm just going to try and sort of hit the feet of the chairs. I think I can put big enough globs on there where I can sort of sink them down. Let me grab my tweezers here. And I think, let's see, I'm going to set them in like that. Yeah, I will sort of use the back wall to lean against. I think this will work. I can. Okay. So like I said, just try and get a little glob onto each leg. Maybe I can sink it down on there. Of course, all the strings going back and forth, maybe they'll connect too. Alright. I've got one that's got one leg shorter than the other, so it's not. I think I've got contact in there. So let's grab the other one. And I'm gonna grab it by the. I think I'm gonna grab it by one of the legs because it didn't want to let go when I grabbed it by the seat. Actually, let me clean this thing off. Maybe that's my problem. Or I may actually be finally running out of the stuff. No. Okay. Let's see here. Hey, that was a... Those guys sort of stick down. And actually, let's see if I can... flashlight out here. No, it doesn't like that frame rate, does it? Okay. Not telling it. Okay. Now, same thing down here. Just run a bead around the bottom of this little. Make sure the wine bottles and everything are visible from the like that. It's about like so. So I'm gonna let gravity do its thing on that for a minute. And while that's sort of drying, I'll go back to working on the other thing. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do to make sure the glue always has time to dry. I'm just going to swap back and forth today, it looks like. Didn't plan on it, but that seems to be the logical thing to do. So we're over here, and this guy, so this just goes, like I said, in here. And then that's our, like I say, that flap on the corners. Why that's not lining up good, but that does line up nicely. And that's a Gorilla Super Glue project if I've ever seen one. And this one probably will be too, but it just goes window frame around that. I'll go up or down. Let's see, I think not. This one's just. Maybe I just split the difference, try and get... Okay, I do know one thing I'm going to do. Get the edge of that paper with my marker. I think that sort of lets me camouflage the edge of the paper there. Okay. Yep. Okay. Like I say, we're going to go super glue on both of these guys. Oh. Good. Dab. Maybe get it to run all the way through. Maybe not. A good spread on it and the side. And get into it. Nope. Back on top one more time. Reactivate. Hopefully anything I did sit around for too long. And just force you in for 10 or 12 seconds. Alright. You don't stick to the plastic. Okay. Feels pretty non-wobbly. I think we got a good, yes, yeah, it feels flush back here. Don't notice any protrusion there. Yeah, I think that worked. And like I said, this guy, sideways where I can get a little bit better view maybe. So I'm going to do about like so. Okay, so just, and got the details on one side and blank on the other, so this is the front. Let's see, will that fit? Nope. And cleaned off pretty well. That's good. Okay. Well, just like that, 20-something minutes. Time flies, don't it? I was worried this one might go too fast. I don't know when I'm going to quit worrying about that, because I should know better by now. Yeah, I got a little bit off to that side, but I think throwing that marker on it helped camouflage it. Yeah. Okay, and that's the wall. Alright, I'm pleased with that. Let's see. Now it says to install the door before we put it on the actual building, which seems to me I'm gonna hold off. The door sort of like the door over here. It's supposed to just be sort of kicked open a little bit like that, but I totally see myself breaking that off if I like start moving it around. So I am gonna wait on that. But we do need to put us a couple of lights in here. So see that one lined up, and that one did too. All right. So it does, like I said, calls for 2 more of our LEDs to go in. Let me open these up a little bit more. And that's pretty much dead center on that hole, so I feel good about that. Where the sticker's been placed. And that did poke right through on this one as well. Let me push that inside there. them both in. Alright. Alright, now let's drop our wires through. And actually shows this one going up instead of down. So that'll be okay by me. It's supposed to be like that. Let's see how the B7000 does tacking down an LED. Just to try something new. Let's put one little drop right there. Didn't go high enough. One drop right there. Okay. It doesn't dry quite fast enough for my taste on that, but yeah, that may not have been a good idea. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, it's moving around too much. I don't think super glue will bond with that either. I can just tack a little bit of super glue on the top of it. Maybe that'll hold it down into the B7000. A little bit right there. Okay. That seems not very stable, but better than it was. Like I say, between the two glues, maybe it'll hold. Yeah, it's not wiggling around like it was. Okay. Now, let's put this under there so I've got something to run it through. I'm getting in that situation where I got so many wires it's starting to bug me again. Now instead, yeah, that's going to end up there, so it does have room over top of that light, so I can mount it properly. So that's good. Okay, and this one. Actually, and this one, it's like a cluster of light of the signs around it, so I'm sort of confused about how that's going to look. And it's got it, we don't have a good look at it, it's the problem. I think it's supposed, this is supposed to go on there, so it's supposed to be, this one isn't going to be flush against the one it actually sticking out a little bit. So I think it's going to be, I'm not sure what this is going to do. Like I said, I'm confused, but like I say, it's just all these signs are supposed to go around this light. So I think I'm just going to let that one sit for a little bit. I'm not gonna tack it down or try and glue it until I get the rest of the signs on. So maybe we can have a little flexibility there, deciding at that point. Yeah, that's my plan. Okay, but anyway, back to this guy. That's, like I say, the door goes on technically next, then the sign. But since I'm skipping the door, go straight to the sign. And just do move you around in place and get you lined up with the bookshop. Alright, so we got a bookstore shop sign dealio in place. I think it's got its LED behind it. I think I might have just figured out what my problem was with the V7000. Where I've been cleaning it off with paper towels, I think I've just been jamming the paper towels down in there with the needle. But live and learn. And like I say, this one is getting pretty empty, so it won't be much more. Get to move on to the full size ones pretty quick. Okay. Like I said, since I'm skipping the door, I'm going to let that dry and cure or whatever again. And let's see how these... Yeah, it feels like it's staying enough. I don't think it's dry, but I think I don't think it's going to fall over either. And now, get to move down to this room. Chair. That's a room with a cat in it. A cat in the windowsill. And there's only, just the teddy bear and the stack of books go in this one. And the fact that the teddy bear's got a flat back, but they sort of show it sitting at an angle, so they've evidently glued it on his legs. He's sort of sitting there in this area. So let's go with the beacon for this. I can put a fair glob down on his hind end, and maybe that'll be tacky enough, quick enough to hold it in place. And right as I got to the exciting part, I forgot to. Okay, I was wrong about that. Let's bring him back out, I think. Well, I wasn't wrong, but I think at the angle it sort of wasn't going to allow me to do that. Okay. Okay, I got that going. Okay, no leaning on this one, and then just evidently setting the books in here. They've got it set up like facing the binding, facing this way. I think I'm going to do it at a 45, just sort of put it a little bit further back so I can see them through the window maybe. And just, I got the beacon out, so I'll just put a little, just use that. String. A little bit further back than that so we can see it through the window. Yeah, that's what I went with. All right. And at this point, I want to let those. I'd say that's probably long enough. It's pretty warm in here, so I'm pretty sure that glue is going to cure pretty quickly. Let's throw a side on our building, maybe. So we got this guy with its wires, and I just saw I need to gotta take a notch out right there. Oop, other way. I just lay it over so I can get the wire through there, and the other wire goes in through a previously existing notch. Okay. I think. Is that going to be? Oh, Oh, wait a second. No, it's not. There. Oh, this one back here. This previously existing notch. I lost it there in all the confusion. Yeah, I was trying to think it was going through here. Do I got? Oh yeah, I do got a light in there. Okay. And this one, the top one goes through the notch I just made, and the bottom one goes through this. Whoop. This back section there. Okay. In theory. So actually, this one's a little bit flexible, but this one's just gotta go and run it through right now. Get that started. Missed one. Okay. And as we, okay, I can pull it from the, this one, yeah. I guess I'll pull those from the bottom over here, so I'm going to leave those out so I know which one's which. See, this one, I think I can tease that in with the probe. Okay, and get our slots lined up, and ease y'all in, a little bit higher on you. Okay. That's buckling. All these wires at the bottom. Okay, so you're good. Okay. A little bit up. Okay, that should fly on. Got one wise guy here not wanting to stay. Hook. Okay. Okay. All right. And look in there, that wire actually did stay in its little hidey hole, so that's good. Still not sure how I'm supposed to position it. This wire, I need to snug it up if I can find the right ones. Shouldn't be, there's only like, what, 6 of them? Anything on top? Okay. Okay. I pulled those. Thought I pulled them out. Okay. There's one of them. So let's see. This one. There it goes. Okay. A little snug. I have got a piece of tape that I pulled off because I thought I might need some of this. Can't reach there to. Swab sort of hold it down a little bit. Okay. All right. That is a fair amount of progress. Just gang all these guys up so don't have to look at all that rat's nest. And that's, yeah. It'll look better lit up, I'm sure. And whatever we end up putting in here. But yeah, I'm pleased with that so far. And I think all the lights are really going to look good on the inside too, lighting everything up. I did think it's bright enough where it should diffuse everything. I was thinking about trying to move that light more towards the center of the, center of mass or whatever you want to call it, to make sure you get good light distribution. But I think, I said, that should be fairly reflective, that light colored wood. So I think that'll work. All right. Now, that was a little nerve-wracking, but not too bad. I guess now is the time to put that door in. Like I say, just gonna pop you on. Let's see here. Add a little more detail. It's the blank side, and this side's got the more detail down there at the bottom. So just sort of in there like so. That's what alright, so just like yesterday, the old Gorilla Super Glue for this, I think. Fairly reasonable on the side. And hold that there for 6 or 7 seconds maybe. Ooh, I just noticed how good this lined up right here on this corner. I'll show you here in a second. Yeah, I just noticed this wall. I mean, it's not perfectly aligned, but that looks really good there on that corner. as far as being 2 loose pieces. Yeah, nice. And got of course, the extra flap there obscured the edge of the wood, just like it did over here. Nice. Yeah, it's gonna be nice. Cool. All right, so did that. Got the wall mounted. Now, the sign, or all the signs. Like I say, it's just, oh, darn. I just realized. Well, this one doesn't get to be put in there, but this carpet was supposed to go on that second floor. I think yep, there's no, so the teddy bear is just going to sit on hardwood, I guess. Forgot about that. I missed that whenever I was pulling the pieces. I went back and saw that after the fact. Okay, darn. Don't do that. Okay, like I say, the signs, the way they've got them set up, this one set up on the front, with this one sort of behind it. This one here, this one on the top, sort of behind that one, and this sort of a gap. So there, like I say, it's just a big cluster of signs up, and it's hard to tell where exactly the light is. Okay. I think, well, the first thing I just noticed, I put this on upside down because it's supposed to be upside down and backwards both. According to the picture, it's supposed to be like mounted like this with this on the upper part. But that's, I don't think, a big deal. That's sort of flexible. Let's see, this one, okay. I'm going to try. This is one I got some landmarks on, so I can try and line up like they've got it to see sort of work from there. So I can adjust the light as need arises. So this one is, they got it about this one with the bottom of the L. This is about where they got this one mounted. I can see that from the picture, so I'm going to use that as sort of my anchor. To line it up with that gold line there, and the bottom of the L with this little fleur-de-lis, or whatever flower design thing there. I'm going to go back to the old Gorilla Super Glue for this, just because you can't really undo it once you do it on paper. So hit that. Nice, good coat. Maybe a little bit more actually, because that soaked it right in. Okay, the bottom of the L, and this, like that. Pressure. Alright. And then the L here is supposed to almost cover the T in that one, so it's going to end up being about like that. They got a fairly good gap. They're about out to here, so plenty of room for the light to move around in there. Okay. And of course, like I said, I've got it upside down from the original, the design. Oop, that's way too much glue. Let's see if I can thin it out, pull some off of it. Okay. So about here. And since I use so much, I'm going to keep pressure up for a little bit longer than normal. Okay. Now, the bakery sign is supposed to sort of be visible over it, so I'm going to put it, it doesn't have it flush with the top up there, but I think I'm going to go flush with the top, just so you can sort of see it. I'm going to put it, I think, slightly back of the hotel sign, of this sign, and I don't think it's square. I'm actually going to go slightly forward of that, just hopefully so it can catch some more light. So yeah, so I'm going to go about like that with it. And they do say in the instructions, this is to your how do they phrase it? Your reference. I'm assuming they mean reference. Okay, so get that on there nice and like I said, I'm going to go flush with the top and that. And hope it's fairly straight. I didn't look at that before. Okay. And then I'm not even sure what this one says, something comfort. It's supposed to be the sort of right here next to the motel sign. So I'm just going to sort of, do it like that where you can see the whole sign, but it's going to be, you have to be looking at it from this angle to see these signs, I think. There we go with too much again. And that way, so like that. And then the Prego sign is actually right here behind. So I'm thinking we're going to end up putting the light down like this maybe. And hopefully it'll, well, maybe if I do it, I'm not going to glue the light down till I get the battery plugged in, just to see where I want to end up putting that. Yeah, because I may, you know, if it looks better, I'm just going to be experimenting with it. If it looks better like through here or back here, whichever. But I'm going to have this guy, you go, let's see, according to the picture, you're about even with the bottom. I'm going to go up a little bit. I think I'm going to do about like that. I think actually, well, we're supposed to. Oh yeah, zip ties. I had some in here. I may have misplaced them. I've lost my zip ties. I thought I had a bunch of them right here. Get my toolbox open. Nope. I guess not. Oh well. I guess I'll go get a zip tie. Or 2 or 3. Because the last step is to sort of wrangle this rat's nest together. Which, you know, actually shouldn't be that difficult since they're all sort of coming the same direction. Got the one, I think. Let's see if I can get this one out of the way this one's already tied down to the side, so I'm going to pull it aside. Have that one going that way, and all the rest of them are on this side. And I said these are the ones that have already been taped down to the side, so they're reasonably arranged anyway. So let me, I guess I should show you what I just did with the signs. That's our little sign cluster. And I'm still not understanding all that really, but maybe it'll look better when it's lit up. And it's going to be in like an alley too, so that might sort of get some more visibility. All right, but let's see, there's our little room. There's see our teddy bear in there. All right, let me go grab a couple of zip ties, and I'll be right back, and we'll wrap this bad boy up. Okay. Zip ties to the rescue, I think. Let's see, it sort of shows them. Trying to make heads or tails of what I'm seeing here. Let's see. Okay, so evidently supposed to okay, so it's supposed to be sort of, whoop, I can't see any of that. It's supposed to be sort of guided down through here. Oh, there must be a hole through the base. Hang on. I keep forgetting I've done the base here. So we got, okay, so yes, but what we're supposed to do is gang all these wires together and then make an extension wire that actually goes through the hole in the base here. So, and that's where all these come together, I think. So let's go ahead and poke those out while we're going. Okay, and then this is where the battery box, I think the battery box lives in the middle, so we'll get lights from both sides. Okay, I see. I sort of see what they're doing now. Okay. Probably Let's see. I think I do anyway. Okay, let's see. Where's the... Of course, I'm still... Okay, that... I got room to maneuver with that one. So, okay. So, what we're doing... I think even these are supposed to go... Pull that over off of that one. There's some good adhesive on there. Whatever set I got that from. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, looks like gang them all up. Ooh, actually, supposed to gang them up, separate them into gray and white anyway. So you can go ahead and do that. I'll zip tie them into grays and whites. Gray. I don't even know if it's showing up on camera, but they are. I would rather they had done like black and white, or red and white, or blue and white. The gray is sort of hard to differentiate, even here with all right underneath my lights. Okay, I think that's... Okay, what we got here? We got... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 7. I guess I should look at the ends, it'd be easier to check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, okay then. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So that's... Now that I got those, let's see if I can... Should get them somewhat untangled maybe. Nah, that's not gonna work. Okay, so let's just zip these guys together. Snugly, but not tightly. 'Cause I'm down there. Alright, so that's got a hold of those. These guys, same sort of situation. It's gonna move around a little bit, but it's not gonna. Alright. Then I've learned a long time ago you don't go all the way down to the bottom on zip ties. You always leave a quarter, half inch, something like that to mess with. Okay. And then it says to cut them all down to the same length and then gang them together. So, let's see, I'm going to lay it down on this side. Get my glue back. Right. Smooth side here. And I don't understand why they gave us all these handy dandy convenient tear off strips if they didn't want us to use them. Okay, so let's get them. I want to give it about right here, I think. It gives me room to play with it some. that enough to... Alright. Didn't intend for this to go this long. And all the gray ones. Okay, so spin them together. Okay. And so the same thing on the white side. I don't think I need to knife up. I don't think that did anything. Good. Maybe a little bit like so. A little more room, maybe. Okay. And 7. Get those together. Okay. So, and like I say, then you're supposed to evidently take some leftover wire and just make a gang these together with that. But I'm going to wait on that because I'm going to do that with. I'm going to use a screw nut for that and I don't have any up here left anymore, so I'm going to call that a night. So, y'all know how I go at this point. I think we've made some good progress here. Looking really good. Still a little confused about this whole situation there, but I got faith that they know what they're talking about. Got the cat prominently displayed. And now, if I had it to do again, I would have left that window open too, so you could see in there and see the teddy bear a little better. But once the light comes on, I think that'll show better. Like I said, I think the light's going to come through here and that window back there too once it gets lit up. So I'm getting excited about seeing what this thing looks like when I get some juice in there. But I think otherwise, finally got us a nice sturdy feeling building. It doesn't, everything. I'm pleased. I think this is going to be a really good looking set when it's all said and done. I'm really digging the precision of the corners here as far as they got the covering the wood up and everything. I think the diffusion of the light back here through this thing is going to be cool too. But anyways, folks, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, complain, share. Do whatever you want to with all that. Be good to one another. Stay safe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.